Welcome to the Boxing Gossip channel. Please hit subscribe if you're new. This is intended to be a shorter video, just briefly picking up on a point from the World Boxing Super Series post-fight TV release. I think they call it Groves versus Eubank the day after. It's an extended piece which has one or two interesting moments after the fight, especially from my perspective in Chris Eubank Jr.'s changing room following on from the fight. I didn't learn too much from the programme, but I thought it gave a fascinating insight to Chris Eubank Jr.'s mentality, state of mind, and also his relationship with his father and team. Straight after the fight, Eubank is celebrating. His dad says to him in the ring, "Do you think you did enough?" The implication was that the dad didn't believe he'd done enough from my seat. In the dressing room, after the loss, Eubank is asking his team, who won? Who won? Who do you think won? I thought I did enough. I thought I wore him down in the late rounds. There's silence from the dressing room. Ronnie Davis is there mute. Eubank isn't directing the question at him. Eubank asks one of his team, who sort of dodges the question, says it was a very close fight. His dad does step up, and his dad said, "For me, it was the right decision. You'll have to watch it back." If Chris Eubank Sr. thought it was the right decision, why did he not give his son that direction mid-fight? You know, why is Eubank Jr. getting to the end of a fight, which he clearly lost, and only at that point finding out that he was well behind on the cards? Surely the job of any person in a corner would be to tell your fighter, Eubank Jr., you're now 1 round down, you're now 2 rounds down, you're now 3 rounds down, this is slipping away, you're now 6 rounds down, you need a knockout. You know, Eubank got to the end of the fight seemingly without that understanding. It's a bizarre situation. For me, that's poor corner work, that Eubank was so deluded even at the end of the fight. You know, how you can have a fighter so far down but thinking they're, you know, in the fight or ahead is beyond me. He also kept referring to the fact that he thought he did enough in the late round. You know, someone maybe needs to have a chat with Eubank about how scoring in boxing works. I mean, yes, Eubank possibly did give the better visual impression in the last couple of rounds, but in order to beat George Groves in a fight where the referee judged there to be no knockdowns, Eubank would have had to have won 7 of the 12 rounds, and I'm yet to hear anyone make a case that Eubank won 7 of the 12 rounds. So for me, how Eubank has got to that point shows a bit of delusion and shows a bit of poor corner work. In the post-fight interviews, he said he doesn't feel like George Groves is a better fighter. He was more worried about his image, in fact. He kept asking whether it was appropriate for him to turn up to the press conference with an obvious facial swelling from a punch and whether he should put ice on it or whether people would be taking photographs at the press conference. He's then released footage on his social media following on from the fight saying that he's straight back in the gym, you know, and he's gonna, you know, he's straight back at it. You know, for me, I'm a bit worried about Chris Eubank Jr. He hasn't learned from his mistakes in the Billy Joe Saunders fight. Now he's straight back into this gym after the George Groves fight. Maybe he needs to realise that what cost him in that fight wasn't lack of fitness, it wasn't lack of working out, it was lack of boxing pedigree. It was lack of a strategy. It was lack of a plan B. It was lack of a world-class trainer. The fact that he's straight back in the gym, the fact that he's more worried about his image, the fact that he's saying after the fight he'd like a rematch and he doesn't feel like George Groves was the better fighter, these are all worrying trends to me. Like the Billy Joe Saunders fight, he still seems to be suggesting afterwards that he genuinely felt that he did enough. Perhaps the sign of someone who doesn't learn from their mistakes. Perhaps the sign of someone who's so sure of themselves they're sort of unwilling to make any adjustments and to take any ideas. And you really do have to wonder, I speculated in my post-fight video that at 28 years of age, is it actually too late for Chris Eubank Jr. to reinvent himself as a boxer? For me, the answer to that, very, very definitely it's too late, unless he makes major change. And, you know, if he's going to have a corner without a trainer, if he's going to have a corner who don't tell him he's well behind during the fight, you know, if he's going to finish fights like that, thinking that he's the better man and thinking that he could win, and get straight back onto it, then it'll be a long road back for Chris Eubank Jr. and it'll be very, very hard to pick him in a fight at World Championship level again. Just a brief video. wanted to get that out there. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe and please hit the thumbs up button if you